totally going to pretend to be Chris. No one's even going to know. All right, today's question. How to get under the bar faster when snatching. How do we do it, Mike?
Well,
suspense.
You just got to do it. No, there's quite a few techniques for that. First thing, actually not really any techniques. Training protocols, drills. Yeah. First, you got to make sure. A lot of times people aren't getting under the bar, and the reason is because they just lack the mobility.
Yep.
So if you can't get into a deep overhead squat with just PVC pipe, a empty barbell, or just pretty lightweight, then you know you have a mobility problem.
Yeah, mobility specifically in the hips, ankles, and in the thoracic spine. The thoracic spine is something that people don't really they overlook, that one.
Yeah.
If your upper back's all rounded over, it's hard to catch something over your head.
Right.
So you got to have upper back extension where your upper back is very flat. That way it's easier to reach right directly over your head. And you also got to have enough shoulder flexion where you can reach, with the actual shoulder joint, it can actually reach straight up overhead. So it's usually one of those four things. I was like, one of those four things.
Yeah.
One of those four things. That you need mobility-wise in order to be comfortable in that bottom position. So if you can't get into the position at all, you probably should start there.
Yeah. So numero uno, see if you can get in that position. And I've had people go, well, I can't get in that position, but what can I do to get stronger overhead? I'm like, what? Like, no. Don't go overhead squat until you fix that position. Don't try to get under the bar if you can't even get that overhead squat. So that's step number one. Step number two is start working on strength, getting under the bar. So doing things like muscle snatches can be really good. Work those muscles that are actually responsible for pulling you under. We talked about this. We complain about this to a degree, which is a lot of people, they pop the bar up, and then they think about dropping under the bar.
Happens.
Yeah, miracle happens, yeah. But people, they pop the bar up with their hips. They jump, they get the bar moving up, and then they fall down. What they need to be doing is actively shrugging underneath the bar and pulling that bar tightly overhead. It's not somewhere it comes up and your arms are kind of loose and then it's there. It's a pulling under the bar actively.
Yeah.
So if you're actively pulling under the bar, that's going to help you get under the bar faster. And one way to train to pull the bar is muscle snatches. Yeah. And I like to combine those with some pulls off the blocks, some snatches off the blocks, something that's about from the knees or mid-thigh or something like that, just because that's also working on speed under the bar.
Yeah, I also like doing tall snatches and snatches from the power position. So a tall snatch would be if you're standing straight up, typically you squeeze your butt real tight and you hold the bar, and then you try to initiate with the arms to pull yourself underneath the bar. And the heavier that bar gets, the more you're going to have to pull and accelerate your body down to the floor. The power position snatch, you just basically get into the power position. So basically the power position is your torso is vertical, your knees are bent, your arms are straight, the bar is at your waist, and your feet are flat on the floor. And you're basically just driving with the legs. So the power position snatch helps teach, one, the leg drive, but it also teaches the timing to go from extension to underneath the bar. So that's a really important thing. Timing is a big factor in how to get under the bar. If your timing is off, you won't get under the bar and meet that bar and receive the bar in the bottom.
Yeah, a lot of people might have good timing up until they get to like 80, 85, maybe 90% of their best. And then all of a sudden, instead of catching a snatch at the very bottom, all of a sudden they start to get scared, they start to overthink it, and all of a sudden they start power snatching. I know a lot of people that can power snatch more than they can squat snatch, because once it gets heavy, they get scared about pulling themselves underneath the bar. Even if they can get in a position and they can do it with 80 or 90% with locked out elbows and they can land in a good spot. So what you don't want to do is try to practice with 95% where you're getting it wrong every time, hoping one of these times you'll do it right. What you want to do is you want to practice with the heaviest weight that you can already do perfectly. That way it's heavy, but you're doing it right every time. You're not practicing bad reps, you're practicing perfectly right reps, and then you can add a pound, 2 pounds, 5 pounds over time, and then you can hopefully do it correctly with a little more weight each time you make a little bump. If you make a little bump and you do it incorrectly, nope, don't try it again. Go back down to the weight that you used the first time and do it correctly with the heaviest weight you can do it correctly with.
Yeah. Would you guys call this question nailed?
Nailed.
Question nailed.
Join the conversation every week after the episode over at barbellshrugged.com. This is also where you'll find new episodes of Barbell Shrugged, Technique Wad, Nuggets and Pearls, Barbell Business, Get Change, plus new articles every day on our daily blog, written by us guests of the show, and some of the biggest names in strength and conditioning. So, go there and leave a comment now. Oh my gosh, wow, that's so cool. Yay, that's so awesome.
Did you like this video? If so, subscribe to our channel and share this with your friends.
And if you want even more free, awesome resources to help you reach your fitness goals, plus some updates that we only share over email, head over to barbellshrugged.com and sign up for the newsletter.